Have you ever had an idea for Facebook or Instagram, but you really weren't sure how to turn that into a post or a video that you can share? Maybe you've seen a list of content ideas and you thought, this is great, this is going to help me get started. And then you're right back at stuck again, because how do you take that idea and expand on it so it actually becomes a post or a video that you can share? Now, don't get me wrong, content ideas are great. We need them, we need that inspiration, but where most of us get stuck and where we got stuck is, what do you do with those ideas? How do you expand on them so they actually become a piece of content that you can get out there and share? That's actually why we created the content calendar system, to help us and to help you get unstuck and to speed up the whole content creation process. It's got 2 years of content ideas, and the best part is we've already expanded on them. So you'll have pre-written captions and scripts right there at your fingertips, all planned out. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how we did it using a super simple caption formula that anyone can use to create content quickly and easily for any platform in any media type. And what I really love about this caption formula is it's universal. You can use it for an Instagram post, a reel, a TikTok, any type of YouTube video, blog post, even emails. It's going to work for all of it. And when I say simple, it doesn't get any simpler than this, because all you need are 4 sections: your hook, the transition, the body, and the CTA. I'm going to dive into each of these sections in a minute, but before I do that, let's just talk about the big elephant in the room, and that is your content strategy. Because you don't want to spend that time and effort creating a piece of content unless it's going to help your audience on the one hand and you and your business on the other hand. None of us has time to create content that isn't going to impact our bottom line, right? So you want to make sure that any piece of content that you create is going to hit those 2 goals. You want to help you and your business, and it should help your audience in some way, either to do something they've been trying to do or to feel a certain way that they want to feel. And when you do that, you're going to naturally attract them to your business and to your content. You're going to be able to pull them into your funnels, warm them up to your business, and turn them into leads and customers. Now, that may sound obvious in theory, but in reality, it's a little easier said than done, because how do you know if this idea is actually going to hit both of those goals? In CCS, what we found is there are 6 content buckets, and they work well for any type of business. So if an idea doesn't fit into one of those buckets, it's out of there, because each one of those buckets has a very strategic goal, whether it's to build your audience, to engage with people, connect with them, generate leads and sales, warm them up to your business. So whether or not you decide to use CCS for your content planning, I just want to leave you with that before we move on. You want to have some kind of criteria, a way to organize your content ideas. That way, you're going to be very strategic and very focused and get much more mileage out of every piece of content you share. And if you want to learn more about those 6 buckets and the types of content that work well for them, make sure you check out our video on that. Let's get back to the caption formula. You have your idea, you've decided that it's a great one. We're going to start with section 1, which is the hook. Now, this is a super important part of your content. I'm going to spend a little bit more time here, because when you get this one right, you are going to be on easy street. If you think about it, you have a few seconds to pull people into your content, to really get them wanting to swerve over and see your post, watch your video. If you're not doing that, then they're going to be swerving over for someone else. All you need is what we call an audience-first approach. Remember those 2 goals that you have for the post, right? You want to help your audience and you want to help your business. But your audience comes first. If you make your post about them first, you can make it be about you later on. So the only thing that your hook needs to do is to relate to your audience on an emotional level. You want to connect to either how they're feeling today, right now, or how they want to feel tomorrow. We all have goals and desires. Those are the great ways that we want to feel. It's like the future version of ourselves that we aspire to. Things like, I want to make more money, I want to be more confident, I want to have more time, more freedom. Those are all the great ways that we want to feel. And then there's the not so great ways that your audience is likely feeling right now. Things like, I don't make enough money, I don't have the support I need, I don't have enough time, I'm stressed out. These are very real pain points your audience is struggling with, and they're stopping them from moving forward. They may even have limiting beliefs and some negative thoughts around their ability to step into that future version of themselves. And we've all had beliefs like that, like I'm not good enough, it's going to take too long. Those are types of emotional triggers, and they're pretty universal. Now, you might have some other ones that are specific to your niche. Either way, all you have to do is choose one of those for your hook. So one pain point, or one goal, or one limiting belief. When you can relate to that feeling in your hook, they're going to automatically pay attention because it's going to be so personal for them. Now, I just ran through these pretty quickly, but we have a whole worksheet to help you drill down on the pain points, limiting beliefs, and goals of your audience, so make sure you download that in the description. Okay, so how do you introduce this feeling in your hook? Where do you start? And all you need to do is make people curious enough so they stick around and they stick with you for a little bit, right? So questions are going to work really well here. Or you can make a big statement. Or you can even just jump right in like you're already in the middle of a story. And then from there, all you need to do is expand on it briefly. Maybe share a similar struggle you had, or your clients had, or a goal that you had, and what that felt like. To give you an example, here's a hook that leads with a pain point. My gym is closed, what am I going to do? So in this example, we're leading with a question and then immediately relating to what that feels like for them. It's almost like mirroring what they're thinking, so they nod their head yes. And you really want to bullet point out those icky negative feelings. Like, I feel lost, I can't work out now. When you relate to your audience on this very personal, very intimate level, they're going to want to hear more. And that brings you right into section 2 of our caption formula, the transition. This section is super sweet and super important because you're going to start transitioning from relating to them as a peer to being the expert. It doesn't have to be much, you only need a few sentences, but what you're doing here is establishing your expertise. So maybe mention how long you've been doing what you do, or who you've helped, what you've overcome yourself or helped others to overcome. Try to be as specific as you can. So in this example, we're mentioning that we've trained thousands of people and you've been doing it for 5 years. It's a simple statement, but it's a powerful one because you're building trust here. And that's going to make people want to learn from you so they can do it too. Which is great because you're going to show them how to do it in section 3 of our caption formula, the body. This is the meat of your content because it's where you start sharing your solution. So you want to think about how you can really help them. Is it a pep talk they need? Are there tips and skills that are really going to help them right now? What's the best thing you can say so they can move forward? So in our example, we're not doing a deep dive here. We're not giving away the farm. It sounds easy. It sounds doable. You don't really want to get in the weeds or make it seem hard, right? Keep it upbeat, keep it positive, because all you want to do is help them get started. And when you do that, they're just naturally going to perceive that you have their solution. So they're going to want to take that next step with you. And now your content is just really fluid, it's flowing. And in section 4, you're going to show them the next step, and that's your call to action. And this is where it starts to be about you. This is your big call to action, but really it doesn't have to be big. So we've been following that audience first approach, right? It's been all about them, their struggles, their desires, your tips and strategies to help them move forward. And now it's your turn. So at the end of every post or video, you want to have some type of call to action. And it doesn't have to be a huge ask. You're just going to say, hey, here's a link, or send me a DM, follow me, comment, subscribe, whatever it is you want them to do next. Here's an example of a CTA using the same example we've been following. And if you notice, it's really explicit, really clear. That's something you want to keep in mind. You don't want to make people have to figure it out, right? So you're letting them know here about your program, giving them a link to join, telling them to DM you for the password. Again, this is just an example. Your CTA can be anything: to download a freebie, get on a call with you, check out your program. Different posts are going to have different CTAs depending on your goals. So if it's an engagement post, you might tell them to comment. If you want to get more followers, you might want to ask them to follow you. And if you're introducing a program like this example, you're going to want to let them know how they can learn more and sign up. And if you're feeling shy at all about making this ask, keep in mind your audience wants you to tell them what to do. They want to take the next step with you. You've already warmed them up, so they want you to tell them what to do next. One of the things we found super helpful, and this is for those CTAs where you're sharing links to your content, is to have those links handy. So we use a repurposing bank where we document all of our freebies, our landing pages, our sales pages, blog posts, videos, any content that we've created so we can have it handy, and it makes it super easy to drop it into your post. And you can actually reverse engineer your social media posts when you look at it like that, right? Because if you know the content that you already have, it just makes sense that you're going to want to share it and get it out there. So if you want to learn more about how we repurpose content and our approach, make sure you check out our video on that. So there you have it. That's a breakdown of our caption formula, and I hope this video has been super helpful for you as you go about creating your own captions. To recap, the hook is where you're going to immediately relate to how your audience is feeling and those emotional triggers we just looked at. The transition is where you're going to start positioning yourself as the expert. The body is where you show people how you can help and you give them a peek at your solution. And the CTA is where you tell them what to do next. These 4 sections are the same ones we use to create the captions and all of the scripts inside of the content calendar system. So if you really want to save time and you want to have a solid starting point for your next blog post, your videos, all your content, don't forget to scroll below the video or click the link in the description to learn more about CCS. And if you take just one thing away from this video, I hope you can see that these 4 sections are all you need to create any type of content on any platform. So there's no more guesswork. You're going to have a solid structure to turn all your ideas into super engaging, compelling posts and videos. As always, I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.